Minerva wakes from a slumber deep in silt. She moves and sways, bound and grazed as her gaze inflates. She begins to create sound and jilts the wormholes the world expects her to move through to come alive. Unspoken and strange, she invades.
Joe Diarc.
Hi. It's following her down the next bit of her path and her kind of investigating the world and feeling a bit kind of trippy and a bit weird, as you probably would be if you'd been asleep for thousands of years and then you suddenly were manifest out of nowhere, not really sure why you've been manifest or what your purpose is. So she's just kind of starting to investigate that and then suddenly an explosion. Dramatic flumes of gold burst from her body, rupturing into luminous mushroom clouds. The sound rumbles and momentarily slices through the fizzing connections of the whir. The aftershock jolts with such aggressive intent that it causes the earth to tilt and spin on a new axis, creating waves of magnitude from sky to sky. Minerva is instantly full of remorse for her disruptive intrusion on the beautiful beam of hopeful illusion she has basked in just moments earlier. She scolds herself lightly, chiding that she is now in a body and must act accordingly. As she absent-mindedly moulds a new beating heart, she wonders if the whir can sense her. Can it sense itself? Does it feel the depths of her? Did it see her morphing as she flailed in the fizz of limbo between being and living? Had it felt her heart explode? She must know. Tell me, she projects to the stars in a ruminating mantra.
The act of taking human form is not for the faint-hearted. It's an incredibly long process that ultimately serves to enforce the simplicity of the human essence on an untamable, unfathomable entity. Various maneuvers of consciousness tear and pummel till uncertainty and confusion form a low-level hum that allows Minerva to engage on this earthly plane. Alongside this hum sits a perfect fifth of eternal striving. The harmonics of this sound aren't apparent to the human ear, but the wider universe can hear the discord. A cycle of perpetual effort, forever searching for the answer, the meaning, the heart of the matter.
So yeah, that's the section from the book, which I have here. And I'm reading from, which is quite exciting, I have to say. Yeah, my first published book. I think we're going to speak to Lucy, who helped publish that.
The key thing for you is this might be your first book published, but you've been writing since you were a little kid, and it really comes, it comes across. You understand pace, you understand story and character and intrigue, and it's spooky. I mean, I'd say to the person who's sitting on the beach reading this, it's a spooky, creepy book as well, so in the daylight, you could get freaked out. You know what I mean?
I would also just like to add to that as well with the poetry side of things, because obviously Joe's not really performed poetry before, or and when I was giving her feedback, I thought I was going to have to give her feedback because I've done quite a lot of spoken word poetry, and there was really nothing I could tell her. It was already really good poetry. Wants to buy the daisies, he'll speak to you next week. Nikki, how you doing?
Oh, put your mic on. It was the kind of idea of the daisies look like they're kind of reaching out towards the light, but there's like all the dark behind them, and they're just kind of a little bit shaded and kind of all kind of facing in the one direction, all kind of trying in some way to kind of aim for what I think we're all potentially programmed to aim for the light maybe, but the dark is there, and also very, very tempting on many levels as well. So that's kind of the idea.
I think that was something that probably I'm quite liking with this, of seeing it in that light, because I feel that when Selling Skin was written, it wasn't necessarily about selling that, which it does exist in society, of like selling like human trafficking and selling skin and all that stuff that could come from it. It was just about the whole thing of that everybody wants you to sell.
Sorry, Mark, just put the light out on me.
Because we know no better. Capitalize on slaughter.
So alongside the Minerva Wakes album, there's also a short story that I've written. So I'm going to read just a little bit from that. Back to inception. Minerva is, we all are, pulled back into the only hum that is eternal, the only vibration. We are all part of a beautiful, unbeatable, perfect soul. We have no concept of time or space, and this brings happiness. Not only to those of us who have an inability to adapt to a time-based existence and are perpetually late for everything, but for everyone, because we are one. Nobody is rushing to go somewhere because we are already here. Nobody is striving to beat anyone because we all win. Nobody is trying to hurt anyone because we all hurt. To reach or strive is to scream into the void, which is pointless. Minerva just holds us till everything is still again. We are complete. We are whole. We are. Maybe these occasional screams into the abyss are actually glitches that sometimes create bubbles, and these bubbles sometimes become universes, and these universes sometimes create life similar to that of the humans in this tale. Or maybe that's just a suitably odd way to end this weird wee story.
Yeah, Martin, obviously you've worked with Joe many times over Gyro Babies videos, you've done some amazing Twist Dates videos.
It's been good,
Is this your first delve into Minerva Wakes? Are you enjoying the album so far?
Of course. I mean, I've been seeing the comments tonight, and I agree. Minerva Wakes. I see this kind of nighttime main stage, big festival. Just it's all happening. Everyone's just floods of light and noise and the bass coming at you. I can visualize it. And to be asked to be part of it, I was like, obviously I'm going to say yes. And slamming drums there from Nikki. I mean, I tried programming a bit of drums in my time, but man, you blow the next level, top level. Do you know what I mean? Awesome Oscar Jam production. There's been a few comments about the production on the sound, and because I've been working with that song, listening to it on repeat
over and over again.
It's actually been fine. I'd be like, oh, this is really well produced, by the way. And I can start hearing all the little noises. I don't know there's a lot of depth in it, so it's like something you can listen to again and again, and you get more from it each time you listen to it, I think.
So yeah, just to clarify that as well, the production on it, Joe did the production, and then Oscar Jam just came along and just kind of sort of, I think your ears were a bit tired after all listening to it for so long, so it was good to get Oscar Jam to come in and just like sprinkle a little bit of his magic on it as well.
Yeah, no, it was good to just have somebody else just to come in and just give it a little bit, like a second pair of ears, really, isn't it? And just kind of polish over it a little bit. So he did a great job with that. So there is a lot of
Thomas Ray, mastered by Thomas Ray.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so yeah, giving shouts out to Tom as well.
Only flow. Floats high, whip cracks on sky. Aloof, uncouth, there is no truth. Folklore and magic, classic antics born frantic. a story, deep quarry, there is no glory. Ring the bell, ask for meaning to sell, an array, DNA, there is no they. Falling on feet, here's the meaning you seek. We flew askew, there is only you. Stretch out in time, not fooled by the feel of two. So and no, there is forever only flow.
But what's that boy about?
So yeah, within the context of the album, that boy is kind of about it's a kind of exploration of Minerva. She takes human form, so obviously there's then the trials and tribulations of being a human, as well as obviously she's the ultimate all-being, all-seeing power, but she is also in human form and is susceptible to all the trappings of humanity and the heartbreak and the trying to interpret what is going on in situations. And so this is a bit of a kind of, this is about Minerva she's kind of falling in love with someone and maybe it not being reciprocated, but within that context of her exploring her humanity. With another click of her fingers, every other skin suit is reunited with its rightful owner. In a blaze of human-like joy, Minerva glints. So yeah, I thought I would do that one as well, because it's like, it's not all about, human skin suits.
As extreme as her awakening, her spine now entwines in a coil of zeal pulled from every nook. Through wild hair and bold eyes she ignites. Fluorescent light spikes like multifaceted sheets of pearl. Her teeth clench as she summons everything that is back to her breast. As time disintegrates, her form gently implodes. And with this, unequivocal love is restored. We are back to inception.
Yeah, I think in some ways there was that. But I mean, I suppose it's just learning as an artist as well, isn't it? And how to kind of, if you do one art form and you get comfortable with that art form, it's quite scary and new and daunting and big to move to do another, whether that be a book or whether that be performing.
She's blown your mind.
done 3. Oh God, I've obviously been my wine. Yes, it's the last song. Yeah.
It's the last song. It's
Perfect
Perfect Soul, which some people might have heard on
Yeah.
Spotify. It has been on Spotify, but obviously the video's not been made yet. And I know that lots of people don't use Spotify, so it's going to be a new one for a lot of people. It's a really good way to end the album. Nikki, what do you make of Perfect Soul? Do you think it's a good way to end the album?
Yeah, I think it probably is. You know, it's a more probably a more upbeat one.
No, it's not.
Upbeat, would you agree with that, Joe?
No. I mean, I suppose like the point with Perfect Soul is this little Minerva's just she's just blown shit up, isn't she? But it's the idea that this idea of realities and meaning and what's actually going on here, isn't it? It's like the idea of a kind of continuous bigger something bigger than us all, and that continues. And
maybe my
when we all got
idea of upbeat is maybe different from yours. Of that, it's like a rebirth, like a new. I think that's.
I suppose it's like maybe more positive in some ways. Yeah. I get you. Yeah.
It's like more of a rebirth of the world to be a bit more positive than what it was, because obviously it just came out into.
Yeah.
And like, well, this better, so I'll make it a bit better.
Sharon says, I think it's upbeat, Joe. So Sharon's agreeing with you, Nikki.
Oh, fair play.
Amazing stuff. Perfect Soul. I'm live with Joe, and I think Nikki's still here as well. Hello, Nikki. We've got some comments coming in. Don't go, lassies. Day and all-nighter. Love Auntie Cole. Loving the banter, says Mary Phillips. Seb's loving it. Soapy says, enjoyed this tonight, guys. Thanks for letting me be part of the awakening. I think it's a piece of work that will last and be discovered by future generations. It really is amazing. Nice ones.
Thank you, Sophie.
Mary Phillips is agreeing, and Lorraine says it was a privilege to get a sneak preview. Thoroughly enjoyed the sound and visuals. Such talent, well done. Great visuals, says Ali. That looks like the broken down compositions of a seashell. I think that's exactly what it is, Lou. Well done. And also tune. Sarah says tune, and Mark says, honestly, this album is such an achievement. Looking forward to hearing it loud.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thanks. Can't wait to get a bundle. Really enjoyed listening to you tonight, says Mary. I've bought my book, but I'll buy my bundle on Bandcamp Friday.
That's what I say. If anyone else has bought a book or a CD or a digital download already, but wants to get the bundle or some kind of combination of different things, maybe you don't want a CD but you want a book and a print or something like that, then give me a shout and we could sort something out directly about that. Regarding the prints as well, I know that we kind of flashed them up there throughout the show, but I will, over the next by next weekend, I'll have some format where where you can have a look at the prints to decide which one it is that you want. As well, and obviously you can buy the prints separately as well. It's just that it's basically works out with the bundle that you get the print for a £5, whereas I think the standard is about £12 for a print, but 10 to 12 quid. I'm not sure.
The technical mishaps are funny. I'm glad that you found humour in my misery. Mark saying thank you for giving Shannon and I an incredible soundtrack for a Saturday night. Hello, Shannon and Mark. Thanks for tuning in. Lindsay Stewart saying thanks. It's been a really great night. And Lou has said, I've had my 3 W's today, workout and wine, so I'm ready for bed now. Thanks so much for tonight. Thanks for the music and the readings. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Off to watch Netflix. Good night, guys. Good night, Alan. Thanks to everyone who's tuned in. One last plug, you can go to minervaweeks.bandcamp.com to support the music, the art and the book. And thank you very much, Nikki. Good to see you. Hopefully see you in the real world soon.
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed indeed. Thank you to everyone who's tuned in, and thank you to Minerva Weeks.
All systems go! Ignition.
What is that? Oh shit, what is that?
It's a trap!
Who you fighting?
I have 4 dogs in my backyard. I'm constantly pumping those dogs, man.
It's good that people are getting bummed up again because we've not had enough of that. We've not had enough of that. This is a democracy. When you call that radio, 3, 2, 1.
Your call is very important. Please hold.